Passed out on the Formica. She held an ice cube to her lip. She stared vacant at the screen. She didn't wanna deal. Smoked a bone and listened to Metallica as loud as I could stand it. I didn't wanna get it, wanna I started thinking. It's supposed to work out. Eating up inside. Running points control. Eating up inside. Waiting for nothing. Waiting for a sign. Waiting for nothing. Waiting for a sign. One day he'll snap and kill her. Then he'll shoot me while I'm sleeping. Then he'll drive to the office and kill 'em all before he shoots himself. He was still passed out as I entered. She was locked up in her room, locked up and waiting. Another day.
And we're live from the mountaintop in the swamp, from UFOs to camel toes, from big chuckles to moose knuckles. You got it locked on the Derek Farmer Network. Can I be heard? Can I be heard? Leading us in, that was Alice Donut. Well, the album, The Untidy Suicides of Your Delinquent Children. The song, Son of an Ex-Postal Worker, Disgruntled Morning or some shit. How's everybody doing tonight? What are we talking about tonight? First, let's say hi. Who's in the room? What's going on? As you can see, we are Fireside. We're Fireside. I have a light on in the background. I'm hoping that will help. I mean, I can turn that off if you want to be more Fireside, but my keyboard isn't backlit, so when I have to type, I need it on. What are we talking about tonight? But first, we're going to say hi. Yes, definitely hi, Watha. How you doing tonight? Yes, going to be cozy with the fire. Heck yeah, doing a little cooking tonight. I'm going to make, well, you know, I mean, ground beef was ground beef was $8.99 for the cheap shit. You know, like the 80-20 mix, which is fine for hamburgers. I like that. That's how it should be. But the shaved beef was only $6.99 for 14 ounces, 2 ounces less, but you get shaved beef. So I'm going to have shaved beef sandwiches, kind of with some melted cheese, sort of like a Philly cheesesteak style, if you will. Along with, I got some delicious crackers. Always with the crackers. When you get old, you eat a lot of crackers, you know. And a delicious Mexican cheese dip. Nice salad. You know, you got to get some greens in there. And, and because I haven't made them in a while, I have sauteed some whole mushrooms because I just love sauteed mushrooms. Cook them with lots of Worcestershire or soy sauce. Hi, Watha saying, I'm not sure how long I'll be able to hang out, but I'm here. And we're glad you're here, even if it's only momentarily, my dear. It's always good to see you. Tonight, I'm having a quick beverage. We do have a topic tonight. I will be reading a little bit. I hope you guys don't mind that, but please feel free to put a 1 in the comment section if you've ever heard of Father Crespi. Father Crespi and the Taos Cave Mystery. I'm thinking some of you have. It's been a pretty popular archaeological conspiracy theory for many decades, but it's not such a conspiracy theory when you consider a few things, and we'll be going over that. I find it to be a highly interesting case. I've always been interested in it over the last maybe 15 or 20 years with the prevalence of cable internet, actually. Anything post landline internet is kind of where I jumped into the internet game, pissing off all of my friends who had years of painful pages loading. It would take 3-4 minutes for a page to load. I hopped right in with that guy Steve from Dell. Dude, you're getting a Dell. Remember that whole campaign like in 2000? But that also came along with cable internet, which was new at the time in 2000 in Kalamazoo, and it was a big deal. Hiawatha tonight is making one of my favorite meals, of course, cabbage, potatoes, sausages. How can you go wrong with that? You must have some Polish or some, Croatian. And who hasn't had a little Polish in them? You know what I'm saying? Big Fish is here tonight. Nice to see you, Big Fish. Sensi's able to join us tonight. Sensi, thank you so much for your efforts lately. I am so sorry I sent you the wrong email packet. I know I have to send you the other one now, which includes the Missy Bevers, I think that's how you pronounce it, exercise that Skip Jansen and we will be doing at some point in the near future. Fishy, glad you made it before the end, actually. Yeah, you always get here right at the end, so it's great. And of course, hi, Watha saying hi to Sensi and Fishy. Is anyone else buffering? How am I doing now? Boy, I must be a little bit behind. Joe Dirt's here for the second show in a row. Hey, Joe. We're just doing our thing, Joe. We don't always break news. However, there was breaking news today. If anyone saw on the community post page, you know what? Maybe I better tilt that up a little bit, pick up the signal a little better. And that was on 3i Atlas as NASA released official photographs and did a press conference on 3i Atlas, which sounded like a bunch of 4-letter name bullshit to me, to be honest with you. I'm not even going to go over it. A bunch of bullshit. But I don't know, though. Hopefully it is a comet. I'll be glad if it's a comet and it keeps right on going. I'll be honest with you. I don't want an alien probe that's 13 miles wide stopping by to say hey. I don't want to be on their vacation circuit. I don't want to be on their radar. I'm fine being a little, rock off in the quiet zone of the Milky Way galaxy, away from all that shit. So let's hope it just keeps right on going. But it was interesting that they finally at least did a press conference on it. And, of course, all the UFO buffs were disappointed. I mean, what did you think? They were going to come out and say, hey, guys, guess what? There's a, something that is the size of 1 billion pyramids flying through space. It has a whole, colony on it, and they're coming here to take over. Is that the announcement we wanted? Yeah, I'm fine with it just being a rock or just being a gassy sort of thing. Fishy saying hi to Hiawatha. Dandy's here. Oh, nice to see Dandy. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, good. Hope you're doing okay, Dandy. My headphones are terrible. Is he singing about bacon? Wow. They are terrible. Oh, the song. I got you. I was like, wow. By the way, that was Alice Donut. Oh, I already said that. No, he was singing about topical shit in the year 1991, Big Fish, Sensi. You still buffering? Damn it. Why are you buffering? Sensi saying, hey, Joe, Dandy. Gonna go back out and come back in. I hope you're back. I must be a little behind. Abby's here. Hi, Abby. Hope Abby's feeling better. Abby, I of course I texted Abby earlier and said, hey, look, you know, if you got the day off and you want to come out for the fire show, you know. Of course, this is on Jari's recommendation. She may not even be here yet. I haven't gotten that far down in the comments yet, but today we'll be talking about Father Crespi. Father Crespi. Abby, have you ever heard of Father Crespi? You guys are of the same denomination, if you will. And he was a missionary in the country of Ecuador for 60 years. And it's quite a fascinating story. The artifacts and so forth that you're going to hear us talking about in just a little bit. By the way, things that, you know, we're not talking about it if it's just regular archaeology. Anybody can do that, and people far smarter than me can do that. We're talking about crazy shit. And they said a lot of these things are knockoffs or recreations or something. But when you see the pictures that I have loaded up of some of these artifacts, I would ask you guys, who takes time to be that detailed? These are gorgeous artifacts. By the way, a lot of which has been destroyed in a fire in the 60s, of course, because they always destroy everything. Big Fish said, oh my God, Nick Jonas has a good song. Throw some bacon on it. I have a hard time thinking Nick Jonas has a good song, but maybe those kids had a little bit of soul, you know. I can be heard, says Sensi. Thank you, Sensi. Junior's here. Great, Junior. Okay, you're all right. The last comment I saw you make, well, besides that you like to listen to me in a small room, probably because of the way my voice resonates. I, however, am in the largest room. Where's my flashlight? Maybe I can display some. There we go. Here we are. We are in the swamp. We're next to the swamp. It's been quite active. Do they make flashlights anymore that just turn on and off, or do I have to go through a cycle of epileptic inducing stages to turn this effing thing off? And I said effing in respect to Junior. I know the rest of you like it when I cuss. Junior doesn't appreciate it, and I'm glad to see Junior tonight. Hey, Junior Johnson, says Sensi Wackadoodle. Oh, Dandy made peanut butter cookies and homemade sketty sauce. You go vegetarian on that? You meatless in Seattle? Oh, good. I'm glad. You know, maybe it was probably just Hiawatha. Yeah, because to be honest with you guys, being outside, I'm closer to the Elon Musk satellite dish thing. You know, it's on the actual workshop. You know. Okay, Hiawatha gets the apple once again. Hiawatha knows all these stories. 5,000 artifacts stolen then sold. I learned about this in high school. Neil Armstrong was trying to find the golden tablets. Well, as a matter of fact, Neil Armstrong actually led an expedition down to Ecuador, met Father Crespi, and did an entire lecture series on the artifacts that he was shown. It may be kind of hard to find, but you guys can probably Google that. So let's dive into it then a little bit. Let me just pull up the Wikipedia account of that. Let's see, make sure that I'm no. Share screen. Okay, here we go. And I'll just quickly sort of brief through this. You may need to blow up your screens. I can also blow up mine. I learned a little bit last night, I think. Let me know if that's getting bigger. Yeah, this is the right guy. There's a couple different famous Father Crespis, by the way. So Father Crespi, born in 1891, passed away in 1982, was an Italian Salesian priest, anthropologist, and filmmaker. He lived for over 60 years as a missionary in Ecuador, 6 decades. Crespi was the third of 13 children born to Daniel Crespi, a peasant, and his wife, Luisa Croce. In 1907, he began his novitiate in Faglizio, and between 1909 and 1911, he studied philosophy in Valsalice, where he met priest Renato Zigoti. who would live to become the successor of John Bosco. On Sunday, 28 January 1917, Crespi was ordained priest. So ordained young as a priest, really. In 1921, Crespi graduated in natural sciences, specializing in botany at the University of Padua. He defended a thesis entitled, quote, Contribution to the Knowledge of Freshwater Fauna in the region of Este and neighboring locations, swamps, channels, pits, sources of Ugani, of lakes from Agua and Venda. 3 months later, he graduated piano and composition in the Cesare Pollini Conservatory. Jeez, could I have picked a better language? Located in the same city. This is painful. Okay, so during his time in Ecuador, he lived with the Shuar people, right? So they're the ones that used to bring him. Let me see. Is this says up on the screen, right? Hang on. Oh yeah. Oh, good. They are the ones that used to bring Father Crespi gifts, for being a missionary and being a priest there and blessing them and I guess converting them and doing all that stuff that missionary priests do. Oh, whoops. I screwed that up already, huh? Oh, I should still be sharing the right one though. Yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. So he was one of the first to investigate the Cueva de los Teos. He was one of the forerunners of Ecuadorian cinema with his documentary, The Invincible Shuaras of High Amazonas, 1926. Its images were recovered and stored years after the footage was taken. During his life as a missionary, he collected a number of archaeological artifacts, which he intended to form a museum, which he ended up doing. After some thefts in 1978, with his ascent, it was decided that works with a certain value would be bought because of debt with the Central Bank of Ecuador. Over 5,000 objects, Hiawatha mentioned this, with archaeological value and character were inventoried and sold, as well as a smaller number of objects of sculpture or ethnographic aspect. Some of them were out-of-place artifacts, oparts, as we call them in the industry, that some assume to have been created before the Great Flood, around which interest and debate had developed. When interviewed, Crespi always declared that all elements in his museum were donated to him by the Shuar, who in turn took them from the Cueva de los Teos. Okay, there we go. So we'll knock that one out. That's just a brief biography. Let me pop back to you guys. Here we are. Hi, how you doing? Let's just catch up. So that's quickly who Father Crespi was. Well, in a second, we will get into the artifacts themselves. Essentially saying that torch strobing feature is a pain in the butt. Every time I need my torch, you can bet it goes to strobing, and I disorient myself. Yeah, it's like on and off would be just fine for me. If you wanted to have extra features, maybe you could flick like an extra switch and give it those. I agree. If I ever make a flashlight, on and off, that's all you need. Like a mag light has on and off. Dandelion-esque, no burger and spicy sausage for sight. Oh shit! Here we go. Spicy sausage for scatty sauce. Added mushrooms, onions, fresh roasted garlic head, and bell pepper. Sounds delicious, to be honest with you. I'm starving tonight. Man, it's starting to get cold out here. We'll be buzzing through this. It's getting bigger, your screen. Oh, good. I'm glad that worked. Hiawatha saying, that says the artifacts were given to the museum. My history, or they says, whatever. My history teacher said they were stolen. Funny how time changes things. I think there were more than one batch of artifacts. Some were destroyed in a museum fire. He finally had his museum, And you were correct. Neil Armstrong took a sizable expedition through the Ecuadorian rainforest to find this guy and to then go on. Now, what is almost even more mysterious, honestly, from what I remember, Hiawatha, correct me, are the inside of the caves. There have been videos and stuff taken that purport to be the inside of the Taos Cave system. But there were tens of thousands of artifacts, and since then, supposedly the locals have relocated those artifacts to different places because they don't want them to be, I guess, or maybe they were all found and stolen. I don't know. But let's go on here. Oh, hang on a second. Got to share my screen again. Dang. I forget to do that, but okay. Okay, so what were some of the more controversial artifacts that were found? The metal tablets were probably the most controversial. These were very thin gold tablets that were made out of gold, and they melted. A lot of those melted in the fire. Gold melting pretty easily in high heat, especially in thin sheets. But they did have pictures of quite a few of them, and that included, let me make sure that I'm sharing properly. Yes, I am. Oh, and then I can blow it up a little bit. All right, hang on. Here we go. A little bit. You could, blow yourselves up also. Unusual symbols, unknown writings, and carved images that did not resemble local indigenous art. These enigmatic markings led to numerous theories, with some observers suggesting they resembled ancient Old World scripts. In fact, there were many different Old World cultures that were represented. Crete, Phoenicians, Egyptians, and Sumerians. It's amazing, and would be such an undertaking of debauchery and then, to make this story up. Geometric characters and glyphs. Many plates were covered with graphic characters. We're not talking about 2 or 3 artifacts, guys. We're talking 10,000 artifacts, right? At least, with more in the caves, supposedly. One notable copper alloy plate was described as having a grid of 56 distinct symbols. Animal depictions. The artifacts featured engravings of a wide variety of animals, some of which were incongruous with South American fauna, such as elephants, snakes, and jaguars. Figurative scenes. Some plates depicted scenes, including pyramids with suns and flying snakes above them, as well as figures of men with sun or star rays around their head. Again, if you're going to go and tell me that these are faked or fraudulent in some way, well, then hats off to the artist once you guys see these. They are quite incredible. And for what? I guess, okay, to be sold to museum or to pay off debt or to be burned up in a fire eventually. Anachronistic imagery. Observers reported images that seemed out of place for the region's history, such as horse-drawn chariots. There's also a famous picture. I'm going to flash back to you guys here for a second. Let me knock that one out, and then we'll get to the good stuff. I'm going to throw a little bit of wood on the fire, though, before I do that, because my hands are getting really cold. I'm going to take a drink of what is called Not Your Father's Root Beer, which is also 6% alcohol and delicious. It has a very root beer barrel flavor with a kick. Yeah, just a moment, guys. As you know, I'm now an old man, so it takes me a second. I mean, hats off to the people with green screens. They just get to click a button. They got a nice little. I actually have to, put the wood on for you. Oh. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Warm the patties up a little bit. Oh, yeah. I had quite a few limbs come down also in the last windy snowstorm. And so we're burning those up, too. There we go. That ought to kick a little heat. Now, of course, the let's see. What do we oh, Junior, I was going to really, Junior? Wow, you're way more knowledgeable and adventurous than I ever give you credit for. I'll put that comment up. Yeah, well, Hiawatha, I'm sure though that somehow the Smithsonian got down there. Nobody else in the world could find it except that damn Smithsonian. Probably started the fire at the damn museum. I can see the Smithson family right now. Yes, the inside of the caves. He should have never let that film get out of his sight. Oh, did they lose it? Oh, thank you, Sense. You check your fire. Yeah, that was a good idea. Yeah. And sorry, here, I know part of the fun is that you guys get to see the damn fire. Well, part, it's not just for warmth, it's also for, there we go. A junior saying, actually, this is what I was going to put up. I've been in caves in Belize with ancient drawings on them. Wow. And I was saying, wow, you're way more adventurous. I had no idea. Everything went okay with Kentucky, I thought, because the last message I read from Junior said, send the guns and money again. And I was nervous for him. Dandy, get your wood out. Wood is out and on the fire. Wow, Junior. I mean, you got pictures of that? That'd be pretty fascinating. I'd love to see pictures. Junior, that's cool. The only caves I've been in are in southern Indiana and Kentucky. I've only been to like the touristy ones. Mammoth Cave, which was quite incredible, and Ruby Falls. One's in, I think, Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, and then Ruby Falls is in just over the border in Tennessee. And the only reason it's called Ruby Falls is because they put some lights behind it, I think, But it isn't an in-ground waterfall, in the cave that flows harder at certain times than others. So, but I more thoroughly enjoyed Mammoth Cave because, I wasn't just there to see some falls. I wanted to walk through the cave system for hours. As a kid, especially. I mean, it was so fascinating. I'd love to go back sometime, actually. These were made by the Maya. Big Fish, we are here for it, farmer. We don't need no green screen. That's right. That's right. I mean, the coyotes have been howling, I'm cooking inside tonight, so I may have to run inside and stir those. I don't want to burn my mushrooms, but so I don't have to worry about the coyotes smelling the red meat tonight, But okay, let's look at some of these artifacts. Now let me go back here. Is this a new story for anyone at all, or does everybody know this story? Cryptex, you did not start the fire. You're so funny. No, it was right before JFK got blown away. What else do I have to say? How you doing tonight, Cryptex? I see you're still in okay. Yeah, Junior, I guess I'm not big. I'm not very knowledgeable on Warren Zevon, other than he had one of the coolest album covers I ever had for the older rock and roll guys, and that was just like what was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. It was like a handgun and a plate of spaghetti. Like a big 44 and a plate of spaghetti. It was pretty awesome, or something like that. I have a hard time remembering, but I always liked "Werewolves of London." I thought it was a great song, but I could not stand Shambhala, In the Halls of Shambhala. Oy vey, that drove me crazy, like that Edmund Fitzgerald song. Just crazy. I mean, I never wish that wreck happened just so that song never came out. Lot of nonstop buffering tonight. It is what it is. Really, Joe Dirt? Am I buffering for everyone or just for Hiawatha and Joe Dirt? Because honestly, it hasn't given me an indication on my side that, and it usually does, that Cryptex, do you know about the Father Crespi story? I wonder. Well, here we go. So, we're not going there yet. I got to share the screen. I always forget to do that. Here we go. And I will blow this up a little bit so I can scroll through it. Hang on. There is the probably age shrunken Father Crespi. I'm sure he was a little bit taller back in the day, but he was just adorable, wasn't he? He looks like a Father Crespi. Now this must be some kind of moon. Can you guys see that? Let me just flash back here. I want to make sure. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. Father Crespi with Wayne Hamby, whoever that is. I'll read through some of these. That's a gold artifact. So that's gold he's saying right there. That entire thing is gold. Not solid. I think they made them hollow. Now look at this. Look at this detail work on here, and Crespi carved gold plate with bearded figures. Again, these were all brought to Father Crespi as gifts from the local indigenous people that were in the Taos cave system that would that had discovered these. These predate their civilization, obviously. It was a discovery for them as well and treasure to them. But I mean, just amazing. Again, that's pure gold. They came out of the cave shiny. Here we go. Look at this gold. Well, they have breasts, of course. Gold plate with hieroglyphic writing. Keep in mind, this is Ecuador. Hieroglyphics in Ecuador. Okay? Now look at this. Why is somebody going to go through faking an an amphibian on a weird Pope hat with like this European kind of looking? I don't know what that is. It's such a mix of cultures. And by the way, none of this makes any sense whatsoever when it comes to the original, narrative by historians, by anthropologists, and even mainstream archaeologists alike. This story is a buried story, in my opinion. And again, Neil Armstrong, astronaut, led an expedition there after he was a famous astronaut. Golden Girdle. Also my nickname in high school. Thank you. Here we go. Page 2. Let's do it. Page 3, whatever. I mean, to me, these are just amazing. Look at this one on the right-hand side, this long sort of, look at just as it goes down it. I mean, it's an immense amount of detail work. Okay, this could be a bit more indigenous. Still, Crespi bronze figure. A Crespi golden carved cylinder. That's the one on the right was. This hat is made out of gold. This is an enormous gold sheet. A Crespi carved gold sheet with Paul Barton. Look at this. Crespi, Middle Eastern, stone carved. Stone carved. Okay, a whole different aspect of skill set. Okay? With serpents. Winged creatures with faces and hey, there's that guy with the purse. That fish head with the purse, the Anunnaki or whatever, Because we're being lied to, you guys. This shit wouldn't have existed if they would have been giving us our true origin story all along. Or, I mean, if the origin story, rather, they gave us was true all along, right? Sorry, I've had one beer. You know how I get a little excited, Now, this looks a little bit more like practice, but, okay. It has a air of authenticity after seeing the other artifacts. Those are some pretty hideous cats. I would probably say, to the person that did this, work on your cats a little bit. You need a little practice on your cats. But your pyramid game is on friggin' point. Pyramid with Paleo Hebrew writing. Again, Ecuador. From a cave system. Let it sink in. I mean, this stuff isn't supposed to exist. Yet here it is. Artifact plate with Egyptian hieroglyphics, glyphics and features. And on and on and on in different cultures. This even resembling something more Polynesian or possibly Sumerian. Showing a robed person writing in a record with serpent figures. Some of the creatures were anthropomorphical or whatever they call it, or and out of date like dinosaurs too, I think, and shit. A Crespi gold plate with written and zodiacal characters. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, all right. Maybe the kids did that one. I don't know. Look, okay, I'm going to flash back because I haven't been able to see you guys. What do you guys think of that, huh? I mean, don't you think that's pretty amazing? Oh, is that in reference to the Warren Zevon album? Okay, good to know, Dandy. Thank you. Shoulder had the same problem. I had to go back out and come back in. Well, welcome back to you. Cripsy. Cryptex, you're hilarious. I'm getting down there to that one. I only had 1 millisecond buffer. That's it. Cryptex, great live tonight. Was that tonight? Or you've been doing a lot. You've been doing a lot of lives. I was watching your one from earlier, but maybe that was from last night or even earlier today. I don't know Crespi, but I know Cripsy. Father Crespi. Although we know Cripsy's a girl. Thanks, Hiawatha, says Cryptex. Dandy saying, I'm in Colorado and just a few miles from Utah. The rock art and ancient history is phenomenal. And also, Dandy, don't think that there's not anomalous shit out there, including from Kincaid's Cave, that someone named Kincaid in Utah, a young lady, a scarab carved on a rock. It's all connected. I'm telling you, there was I believe that there were world travelers, during the Atlantis times and shit. I mean, it's just really pointing that way. I don't think that's so far-fetched anymore, to be honest with you. Well, probably back in Canada, Hiawatha. Cryptex, where is Cripsy? I called the dog Crispy for like the first 6 months that I knew her. Adorable dog. I had no idea that the bird guy carrying the purse was anywhere else. Oh yeah, the bird guy carrying the purse is in Egypt. He's in Teotihuacan or Kawan or what do they call that? Joe Dirt, good pictures. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, they go on and on. I mean, there were literally thousands of these artifacts. I don't know. I found it to be a really interesting story. I wanted to do a live tonight that wasn't just me coming on and blabbering about, the gas station or just a fire. Here, I'm actually going to ditch. Let me hang on a second. Here we go. There we go. Let me, man, it's getting cold out here. I'm getting so cold, you guys. I could always transfer inside, though. I got the fire ring back in the old place. The old poop bucket got dumped. Not mine, by the way. The person that left it came back and emptied it. Remember that whole situation? That's why I moved to the other side. But it's really cold out there. But out in that yard where I was at, it's just very windy. And I'm kind of encapsulated right here. I got my places right, just that way. Anybody that's seen a few of the videos knows what the layout is pretty much. And, of course, behind me, the yard. The house used to be behind me, sort of there and up front, and before it burned down, and beyond that, after an acre or two, are the soybean fields that were taken down a couple weeks ago. A dandy saying, I lived in southern Colorado, just north of the New Mexico border. We could see shiprock. We saw some stuff, 100%. Oh, I believe you probably did. Oh, they've covered up a lot of that. I mean, even that enormous dam they made. What's that? The Hoover Dam. One of the modern a modern work of wonder or whatever. And it is. It's still doing its job, that dam. But they buried a lot of history with the water. And they've done that everywhere they've dammed stuff up. I'm sure some of that is just how things are regionally. Cultures will be closer to the water thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, because resources would have to come from, the things around you, such as food like fish and fresh water. Or, if it's salt water, maybe they had inland lakes and so forth too, river systems. So, yeah, it's interesting, and I'll be giving a presentation to my mom's nursing home and staff for the folks on some of that indigenous history around here in terms of the ancient garden beds that are very mysterious here in Kalamazoo. If no one's ever had an alcoholic root beer, I highly recommend it. I'm diving into my second one, but after this, we're out. It's too damn chilly. Speaking of which, I'm putting more wood on the fire. I got a limited supply, but... Oh, wait. What happened to my light? Did I turn that off? Here we go. There we go. I have a I have the big red hideous lamp out here without the shade on it, so I have an actual lamp. I have a lamp in the middle of a soybean field because that's how we have to do it. Oh, man, the wood guy's wood has gotten better though. Much heavier and like meteor wood, you know what I'm saying? So what's everybody up to tonight? What's everybody else doing? Hi, Watha, how did your cabbage and sausages turn out? You did you say sauerkraut too, or no sauerkraut? No, you didn't say sauerkraut. See, I like to throw some sauerkraut into the mix. I'll be honest with you. I was raised on it, and I have read since that pickled things are good for you, for your what do they call that? Your gut biome. Is that it? So so yeah, hats off to sauerkraut. And I've run out of content, ladies and gentlemen. Hats off to sauerkraut. I lived in a few places in Colorado. I just lived in Fort Collins, but I lived in a few places in Fort Collins, that's for sure. Shiprock is cool. I stayed in the Four Corners area for some time. Hi, Watha. I thought that was Monday at Mom's place. What did I say? Monday at Mom's place. Was I at Mom's place on Monday? Wait a minute. Oh no, it's December 16th. It's an upcoming event on a Monday at Mom's place. Mom's place is the nursing home. Yeah. The national director of activities asked me to do a presentation on well, it's going to be on the first indigenous brief history of the people that predated the white settlers, and then we're going to go over the 5 different things or monikers that Kalamazoo has been called over the years, from the world's largest village to debt-free city to celery city to mall city and so forth. And I'm going to just give a little brief description of each one of those and talk about the ancient garden beds that were destroyed a couple centuries ago by the settlers who stole, basically wanted to use it for their own farmland because it was land they didn't have to clear. That's right. But noted by the French explorers who came through this area and who fur trapped here in numbers. And of course, the French weren't the only people that came through here to fur trap and fur trade. The British also did. In fact, it was the British that set up Kalamazoo's Indian reservation that the 1821 Chicago Treaty disbanded. 1829, I think, maybe. Yeah, 1829. And so forth. So, and my old house, in fact, was in that reservation. Hi, Watha. I visited the Four Corners, Chaco Canyon, Mesa Verde. I love Verde. I'm so hungry. Monument Valley and quite a few others on the regular over the years. This country is beautiful. I agree. The whole country is beautiful. It's got so much diversity. Canada too. Yeah, gut biome. But the only sauerkraut I eat is on a Reuben. Gotcha. Okay. Well, all right. Well, we put it on everything, where I come from. But I do like cabbage also. So yeah, anyways, I think that it just goes to show everyone, I hope that, I feel like it's a legitimate story. I can remember years back, when I started investigating weird little archaeological conspiracy theories 25 years ago. And there was always a picture of a giant European-looking carved head down in Ecuador or one of the South American countries, if not Central America. That looked very European, and it was larger than the car There's like it was a 30s photo, a 1930s photo. Maybe Hiawatha would probably be the only one that would remember that because she's kind of a nerd for this stuff like I am. But that one's kind of hard to find now. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. That's what I got tonight. It was going to be a targeted live, you know. Targeted about something a little bit different. And I'm freezing. I'm gonna go cook. Hiawatha saying dandy. Me as well. It all started on 40 in Winslow for me. After the Petrified Forest, I couldn't get enough. I never went there. I would love to go to the Petrified Forest. It's just I'm scared, you know. I'm nervous. I'm petrified to go there. I'm sorry. Yeah, but thank you, Cryptex, for stopping in. I want to say thanks to Cryptex for stopping in, who's been doing a variety of shows lately, from playing chess with a Hoosier Cold Case and doing all kinds of different stuff. So it's great to see. It's good to see some variety, and of course anyone that broadcasts in real time like I do, that I connect with in a way. You know, I do love to watch and to support. You know, I think that we provide, I say we, I mean the types of shows that I feel I am and that Cryptex is, and a few others as well. It's really about the live experience. It's about the conversation in the chat. It's about the whole interaction. And it just wouldn't be any fun without you guys. And I want to thank you once again for being here tonight. I'm going to go in, finish off this dinner, probably try to crash early. I got a long day at the gas station tomorrow. Well, 8 hours, 9 hours. Well, however long free I have to work, you know. Also. Junior saying, thanks, Farmer. You're welcome, Junior. Stay warm. Yeah, it'll be a little bit warmer when I actually go inside. Yeah, I did just put wood on the fire. That was pretty dumb if I am going to go inside. So, but I might belly up to the fire for a few minutes and finish my second beer and marinate on life myself a little bit. And thanks always for all the great advice that you guys give me. I really feel connected to a lot of the, and I try to take heed. Shay Watson always has a great advice. Sensi, Hiawatha, everybody really. I really like that you guys care enough to give me your opinions on things. When I was a kid, we lived across the street from a German family who grew cabbage and buried it in barrels every year to ferment. I got one of those old, my great grandma's old fermenting. It's like a clay pot. It's like a green glazed pot. Yeah. Go eat, Farmer. Okay. Put that fire out. Oh, no, I'll let it burn out. Dandy, Dandy, I know you're in Colorado. Everything's real dry, but we're wet around here. I live in a swamp, and I got a fire ring around it. I mean, the fire will go out when it goes out. It's not going to light anything up, I promise you. But I will put a lid over the top of it to make sure no sparks fly away. And with that being said, you guys do keep your eyes on the skies. I mean, I felt like our Abby and I's a recording of that drone, whatever that is. I thought it was interesting. It's genuine. It's a real moment. You can tell. And I really enjoyed doing that show. Although Abby, I don't think was here. Abby's been a little bit feeling shitty. She said she's sick, so I think she's probably crashed out tonight. So Abby, feel better, Abby. And Jari, this one was for you, even though you weren't here tonight. But I hope that that the doctor went okay on Monday again, and that you're feeling better as well. With all of that being said, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and always keep your eyes on the skies. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.